Everyone, how's it going? Pixels here, and Happy New Year. This is my first video of the year, and unfortunately, it is a bit of a negative one. However, I really wanted to get these things off my chest, honestly, because I don't know about you, but if you follow Texas Chainsaw Massacre on YouTube, like if you follow any content creators that cover it, including myself, we have been doing these videos like how to save Texas and, why is Texas Chainsaw Massacre dying and stuff. And it just kind of dawned on me a little bit here that going back, the game has only been out 16 weeks. Like the Tuesday just gone, right? So four months, if you want to say that. So 16 weeks the game's coming out, and it's just not a good sign, honestly. I know we can all say, well, it's the lobby timer. That could be a big case here. We'll get into that in a minute. It's the lobby queues, it's the bugs, it's the lack of content, it's all of that, definitely. And it's all just kind of coming together. But the fact is, it's ridiculous to kind of be sitting here thinking, where's the main game to cover here? Where's my main game on this channel? I really hope Texas could have been that after Evil Dead disappeared, but it fucking isn't. It's simple. Like, we're trying to be patient. We're trying to understand things from the developer point of view, but honestly, it's just a little indie game. We're not going to be getting loads of content, and I think it's just time to face facts. Like, the game is just probably not going to get anywhere unless there's a drastic change behind the scenes where they're going to change developers. Sure, you can talk about fixing queue times as much as you want, but at the end of the day, where's the frequency of content going to be coming into the game? Because the base game just simply doesn't have enough to offer to anyone. And I'm sorry for any new players that get into this game right now. It's a horrible mess, and it just totally lacks any meaningful reason to play the game. And I'm not saying it's a terrible game. I have fun playing the game like most other content creators do, but I'm seeing other content creators, I don't know if you're familiar with Laughing Hyena at all, but this guy's covered Sims for years, and all of a sudden he's going to cover games like Star Citizen because he's just done with the genre. These games just keep coming out and they're just dying all the time, and it's just like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, later this year, Killer Clowns is coming out. I'm not sure when, but I'm actually really hyped for that game because it looks fun. It looks 80s. Ilphonics helping out with the game. That means they will be, putting a decent amount of content into the game, and hopefully that game gets a decent core player base. And again, I really hope it doesn't fall into the same stuff that TCM's been dealing with, where it's just like the lack of balance and changes, the lack of content, just lack of updates in general. And people say, I think we're past the entitled stage about the game only being out a certain amount of time. How can you expect so much content to be in the game and stuff? I don't think that's the case. I think it's just like the lack of frequent updates right now has been really bad for this game, and we're not even getting much communication either. Obviously the devs I think they're still on holiday right now. I don't know what's going on, honestly. Like I said, many others, as like with myself on YouTube, I keep getting them recommended to me. Like, so many people saying how to save TCM. Is TCM gonna die in 2024? Like, it's just the fact we're bringing this shit up only 16 weeks, 4 months after the game's been out. It's just fucking, it just can't be a good sign going forward to even try and do this game for content on a channel. Like I said, unless there's a drastic change, if they get some bigger developers on board, take the game off Sumo Nottingham and put a new fucking team on it that's got, has the supply for the demand. It's like, that's just what it's got to be, unfortunately, because things aren't going to change if it's just sitting with the same developers right now. It really isn't. And people, misinformed a little bit here. Gun, yes, I know Gun's only a small studio. There's like 12 people work there, but Sumo actually has a decent amount of developers there, so they're the ones that probably do all the meat and potatoes of the game. And they have different subdivisions. Sumo, they have different studios up and down the UK. They actually got one in Newcastle, which I'm not too far away from. So it could be a case where they pull in another studio to help them out with this game. But right now, is it going to be a case where Gun's going to turn around and say it's not worth it because maybe we've already lost the players? Can we get the players back? Is anyone going to come back to this game who's already left it to go on to, greener pastures? Maybe he's going back to Dead by Daylight, a game that always gets his content. And it's a shame. Like I said, the game's really fun. The core gameplay is really, really fucking fun on this. And, you can keep playing this game and whilst you're leveling up. And yeah, the real grind of level 99 isn't really much to it, but I still had something to play for, and it was enjoyable to do that, running quick match, hopping between family and victim all the time, keeping things fresh, keeping the game fresh, and it was a lot of fun doing that, honestly. And, ever since I hit level 99, it's just like, I don't know, the hype just died for this game for me completely, and it's sad because I thought Gunn would have known what they were doing, especially with the stuff that happened with Friday the 13th. But I'm starting to think Ilphonic really, were the ones that were pulling all the weight on Friday the 13th, and they were putting the content in there really well. Because if you look at their other games, like Ghostbusters, Predator Hunting Grounds. Yeah, Predator Hunting Grounds is not a great game. I don't like that game at all. But just looking at Ghostbusters real quick, they've put a lot of content in into that game, and it's for free as well. But I don't know, man. It's just absolutely baffling, and it's kind of scary for me because I don't want to leave the ASIM genre, but realistically, what else? Like, what can I do? Like I said, my options, it's like go back to Dead by Daylight or go back and play Evil Dead until Killer Clowns comes out. And then just hop on TCM when it does eventually get an update. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird situation. I just find it so baffling to be having to see these videos only 4 months after release, and you've got to realize that they fucked up and something is just drastically going wrong with this game, and there's just nothing we can do about it. And if I'm being honest, I think I've just lost all my optimism that anything is going to change or anything being different. But maybe next week we'll get a good announcement for the game. Who knows? Hopefully. I was going to stream tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can't. But Tuesday I should be back streaming. I don't know what game I'm going to be streaming. Like I said, I might go back to Dead by Daylight or Evil Dead, or I might start streaming completely different games because this game is just not it right now. It really isn't. And I hope it can be it at some point. And I really thought it would be, when they were doing the hotfix patches and stuff, we were getting some good communication, some quick patches into the game. I was like, man, this is like so good for covering content because, I did the more time videos, I did the patch note videos, and then we streamed the update, like it was a nice steady flow of content. And I'm not saying I needed that constantly, but now we're going like, we're doing stuff every week, and now we're like waiting so long before anything happens. And you can go on about, add this, add that to the game. Realistically, it just needs more content. They need to fix the lobby stuff, and they need to be looking at the balancing a lot more in the game. And on the content side of things, adding original characters all the time that people just don't feel hyped about at all. And they're charging $10 each for them, and Chucky's coming out on Dead by Daylight for only $5. That's a licensed character. It's a bit fucking iffy. It really is. And for them to try and, justify the $10 price tag, for the work they put into those characters, with the mocap and stuff, I don't think it was the right way to do it. And this is why the game's just been losing so many players as well. And like I said, so many content creators are just getting so uninterested in this game, like myself. Like Old Head, who I talk to all the time, he's not doing any more TCM content at all. Like I said, Laughing's completely gone from the game. There'll be a few others as well to follow along, I'm sure, unless they see a lot of success from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No doubt they will stick with it for that very reason. But for me, honestly, I'm just like, I want to get on and stream. I really do sometimes, and I'm just like, what are my options here? And I'm leaning more towards going back to playing Dead by Daylight just for something to do, something fun, like for me to grind on the game. It's like, I think the question we've got to ask ourselves is, why is this happening 4 months after a game's come out? Do we blame the developers? Do we blame Gunn? Like the decision making? Like, what is going wrong here? And I think I have sort of a inkling of what the problem was. They got rid of the crossplay stuff pretty early on for PC players, and I think a lot of people abandoned the game from then. And the lack of content in the game can obviously lead to that, and the queue time, sure. But going back from when I covered Evil Dead when the game came out, I don't recall anyone saying like, "Oh, the game's dead" 4 months after launch. I think the game was still pretty hyped up 4 months after launch. I mean, off the top of my head, 4 months after Evil Dead come out, I think we just got the 2013 DLC, or we got the third DLC actually, which could have been the final DLC of the season pass, sorry, which could have been the Halloween stuff. I don't know. I'd have to go back and have a look, but I'm pretty sure we had the first DLC obviously launched for the game, which was a bunch of outfits. Then we had the Castle Kandar, then the 2013 DLC, and then we had the Halloween DLC after that, which was a bunch of Army of Darkness cosmetics and a new mission, and Blacksmith, I think, got added in that update as well. So, in comparison, Evil Dead had its full season pass roughly in the same time it took Texas to be questioning, is it a dying game? And it's putting that out there, it's kind of fucking with my head a lot. Like I said, I'm just lost for words, honestly, and I just need to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably as confused as well as I am. Like, why are we seeing these videos? And not only about Evil Dead having like all of its season pass content in 5 months or whatever it was, but if you look at it's just the time you get from playing the game. So the way I'm seeing this right now is, with Evil Dead, yeah, it didn't have great queue times when they introduced the MMR, but they were pretty much instant once they didn't have the MMR. Texas doesn't have MMR. But either side, if you played, you didn't really have to queue for that long if you lived in Europe. And anyways, I don't know what it was like around the world, but you didn't have to wait that long to get into a game on Evil Dead, unless then when they had the MMR in place. But when they took it out, we were just getting games really quick. And the value was there. So even if you waited when they did have the MMR in place, if you waited, 5 minutes for a game, which, is still less than the lobby system on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if you waited that long, you actually got a good game against a good demon, which you then could enjoy. And it was it felt like a balanced game. So I feel like this is the problem with Texas, where the games are lasting like a minute, and then the queue times and the lobby times, that's like 8-10 minutes to play like a 1 minute match. Like, I think this is the problem here, and I think this is just going to hinder the game going forward completely, because nothing is going to change on it. Like, yeah, you could get faster lobbies, but at the end of the day, we're still going to have the same fundamental problem here, where the games are just going to be lasting too short for a lot of people. Either you're getting out really quick or you're getting killed really quick. Primarily on the victim side, of course. I think when you're playing the family side, games can last a little bit longer. That's just natural for any ASIM game when you're playing that side, where you've got to kill the other side, because they will have to be there till the final person dies. But it's talking about the victim queues here. I think that's the problem as well. They just don't have enough time to play the game from them waiting in the lobby as well. So a lot of people are probably jumping on the family side there. Then they realize the unbalance of the game as well. Then they're just not enjoying it. So it's just so many ins and outs of this problem. And like I said, it's just fucking crazy that there's so many content creators like myself having to make videos 4 months after the release of the game. It's honestly just a total fuck up. It really is. You didn't ride the hype train of the game. It reached over 4 million players. The game's on Xbox Game Pass. You could have just kept the hype going, community streams, bi-weekly. Even Ilphonic has like such a small player base on Ghostbusters, even they can manage to hop on a stream every 2 weeks. Just what is going on, man? It's like they want to take themselves seriously and this game seriously. Well, I don't think there's any fucking proof there right now. I really don't. But anyways, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to stream. I'm just going to ponder in my head a little bit. Dead by Daylight, Evil Dead. Maybe it's a mixture of both on the channel until maybe Suicide Squad comes out or Diablo's new season comes out, because I don't want to leave the ASIM genre at all, because I still love these games. It's just I'm fucking tired of what happened with Evil Dead, and then seeing this shit happen with Texas when it's just the most obvious and basic stuff. But from a developer standpoint, yeah, it does take time to fix things. I understand that. But it's not even those things that's really the problem. It's basic stuff. Like, why the fuck remove PC crossplay just because there's some hackers on the game? Like, that's your own fault from launch, not putting anti-cheat on the Xbox Game Pass side of things on PC. Because I'm pretty sure that's where all the hackers were coming from. There was no anti-cheat on that Xbox side. So yeah, you can hack on Xbox as well. Yeah, every game gets flooded with hackers, but there's no reason to like cut off a third of your player base really, and then remove them from crossplay, and then go up to a 5-minute fucking queue time or lobby timer, and then go 3v3 and 4v2. Like, what the fuck, man? I just can't wrap my head around this at all. I really can't. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And anyways, like, seeing all these videos about the game dying, how to save the game, like, is making these videos even going to help? Are the devs going to see it? Probably. Like, if we see anything for like, this game needs to redeem itself this year. I wouldn't say we'll see that redeem itself until like maybe it's the anniversary, honestly, and by then, it could be goodbye for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It really could. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the gun's gonna have to come out. They're gonna have to like do a drastic change in the development team or something along those lines, because sticking with the way things are right now, and having so many people just leave the game only 16 weeks, that you've done something wrong. You've done something completely wrong with the game, and it's a letdown. It really is. But yeah, I'm hyped for Killer Clowns. Honestly, I can't wait for that game. Killer Clowns is going to have Ilphonic behind it. Like I said, could get some decent amount of content in there. And it could be a really fun game to cover. And I love 80s stuff, and you know, like seeing the gameplay of that, it looks fun. Sometimes with Ilphonic games, they can be pretty arcadey to the point where it doesn't really offer much in terms of like competitive gameplay. Like Texas does, Evil Dead did, and Dead by Daylight does. So, you know, I feel like with those three in mind, I really hope Killer Clowns can kind of reach their level of like the competitive play and, you know, enjoyable experience. Because yeah, you can have those arcadey ASIM games, but sometimes I feel like you can play those for a couple of hours, have a lot of fun with them, and just like all right, I kind of want to move on and go back to playing something a little bit more serious, a little bit more competitive. That's just me though. People have different mindsets to play every game. But yeah, I just feel like this video had to be made. Like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think seeing all these videos from content creators, people leaving the game and stuff like that. Do you think it's, you know, at the end for Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Do you think they can redeem themselves and pull some players back? Do let me know down below. Hit that like button as well. Hit that sub button for more videos like this. I do like to do my rant videos and my discussion videos. I think they're a lot of fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Pixel. This is my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.